On December 7, Ghana will hold its presidential and parliamentary elections. However, the future of Ghana's economy has remained on the minds of its citizens. The President Akufo-Addo, who is also seeking re-election, has been touting economic growth during his current 4-year term in office, as well as the streamlining of government services. All right, let's hear from a Ghanaian and the founder of the Nobel International Business School in Accra, Professor Kwaku Atuahene Gema. Thank you very much, Professor. Thank you for joining us on the program today.
Thank you for having me.
So Ghana's election is coming at an unprecedented time. The coronavirus that has ravaged the global economy haven't listened to the electoral campaigns of the candidates. What strategy do you think they have for the post-pandemic era of the economy?
So it's very interesting that both political parties, the major political parties, are actually, relying on their past performance in government as a beacon to what potentially they might do in the future in terms of strategies. For example, the incumbent government, the NPP government, is emphasizing its achievements in the free SHS policy, the management of the COVID situation, particularly in terms of the rebates and other things that they gave to the population. While the NDC, the opposition party, is kind of in a bit of a limbo because of the fact that they've left government 8 years ago. So they are more kind of over-promising in terms of free education and all that. So in terms of strategy, you don't see anything concrete. It's just relying on their past performance as a beacon for the future.
Now, the electoral campaign, just as you said, has been dominated, of course, by the economy, infrastructure development, education, of course, corruption and debt relief. What for you as a Ghanaian is critical at this time?
To be honest with you, what is critical may not necessarily be the infrastructure, the management of the economy and all that. What I think is really critical at this moment, given the polarization of the population in terms of, major policy issues, is confidence in government, confidence in government institutions, governance institutions. People want to see, transparency and trust in what governments do. And I think that is the major, need for the country at this moment. Because all these things that you mentioned about development, infrastructure and all that, I think that without that trust in government, without that confidence in government, nothing might happen. So for me, that's the most critical part.
Now, talking about confidence and transparency in government, one controversial economic decision by this current government is the IEPA royalty deal, which would mean Ghana signing off a significant portion of its future gold mining reserve. What's your take on that?
My take is simply this. Most resource-rich governments do sign various types of agreements in order to kind of release funds from their natural resources. So to me, this is not a major thing or a new deal. I think the issue is that they have good intentions in order to use their resources for the betterment of the nation. But as you just mentioned, and I was alluding to, the whole decision-making process, the whole idea of the deal has been shrouded in some kind of, critics say, lack of transparency, nobody knows what is happening. So if they are able to solve that problem, if they are able to make sure that people understand what they've done or what they're going to do and ensure that everything is clear and everything is open, I think the potential is there for that deal to help the Ghanaian population.
Okay, looking at the macro economy now and in anticipation to whoever that becomes, the president or the new administration, what is your outlook for your country?
I just sigh a little bit because that's a big question. My outlook is positive, but with a caveat. And the caveat is that, it depends on who is managing the economy. And some critics say that the incumbent government, the current government, has probably shown a bit of astuteness in managing the economy than perhaps the NDC. But of course, this is the incumbent government, so you will say that, won't you? So my take is simply this, that for this economy and for the country to be better off in the future, particularly after the post-COVID situation, with the potential for us to manage a vaccination activity in the country, perhaps who is capable of managing the economy is far, far better. And that is why a recent poll in the University of Ghana suggests that the incumbent government may have a lead in returning to power.
Right, Professor, well, positivity should be the key word there. Let's continue to hope that at the end of the day, the economy gets what it desires. Thank you very much, Professor Kwaku Atuahene Gima. Thank you. We appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.
Thank you.